I'm gonna make some coffee while I tell you this fucking story, because this fucking bitch is fucking retarded. I have my fucking appointment. Mind you, I've been dealing with attacks and people coming into my apartment, drugging me and all that. And because of my past, people are creating because of my past and my privilege, jealous people are creating narratives about me this and that and I don't know what. I went to the clinic because I didn't want to go to the ER because it's fucking expensive to go to the fucking ER for something that wasn't actually killing me, although it could have, because my brain, right here in this section, after drinking a little gallon of milk for like, I bought maybe 7 overall throughout the month of April. I bought like 7 fucking gallons of milk that I kept coming in here. And there was like poison or drugs. There was drugs at one point that was my brain was burning. I'm not talking about a headache. I'm talking about the inside of my brain, the inside of my head. My brain was burning. And I literally had to chug a whole fucking big gallon of water and shove my whole fucking hand down my fucking throat so I can gag all of that. And not fucking OD and die or go crazy or God knows what. But my eyes were like, um, what's it called? Dilated to the point where I'm not brand new. I've been around the fucking block. I'm almost gonna be 40 years old. Like, I know what fucking drugs are what. I've been partying. I've been going. When I was 15, I started going to raves because my mom was always working, and I had a boyfriend who was 23 years old, and we had an apartment in the Heights. I think it was called the Gardens or something like that. And anyhow, so I've been doing hard drugs since I was fucking 15 years old. I'm not brand new, and that's what this in that instance was meth. But anyhow, um, when I went to my clinic, which is in Midtown, and but now I'm transferring to the fucking Heights because her and the main doctor don't want to see me because I'm an asshole or God knows what. Her, I don't know why, but I'm sure the head doctor doesn't want to see me either because I'm an asshole. But the thing is that I'm only an asshole because people have been harassing me and following me and literally breaking into my unit and putting poisons and meth that one instance. We ended up doing a blood work and it came that there was no types of drugs. So it was just, some type of toxicity. I'm almost certain it's that chemical that they spray on top of the fake weed to make Kush, the fake bud. So that stuff was in my system, and it was inconclusive in the toxology report because they were testing the street drugs, the regular meth, coke, weed came, but I'm a pothead, so although I haven't smoked in about a month, because these people are literally going to all my plugs and telling them to give me fake weed and paying them or God knows what, so that I'll go crazy or leave my apartment. I'm not gonna leave. Like, you just make it worse. Like, the more you bother me, the more you harass me, the more I'm just going to stay here. The more that I'm just going to prove the fucking point. Anyhow, I digress. um, so I got to the follow up after that initial attack and the things were inconclusive, whatnot. And I said, you know what? Thank you so much for seeing me, this, and that, blah, blah, blah. And we went over the things that I wanted to get some referrals. I wanted to get some referrals for, I believe I have flat feet. My joint on my knee is hurting. So because I'm gaining more weight, I guess, I have to work out. But also I think one of my foot is flat, my left foot. So I wanted to see if I could see a podiatrist just to make sure. Because this insurance that I have, I'm not going to have next year. and I already know that I'm not gonna have it because you know, uh, money and job. I don't know if my new job is going to give me this type of insurance. So we'll see. But I want to try to get as much as I can before the end of the year and figure out what's actually going on, especially in my 40s. That I want to worry about not only my joints and later on people who have HIV eventually develop uh, bone and hip problems. I have personal friends that have had to have hip replacements because they've been living with HIV, for 20, 30 years. 2007, 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So I've been HIV positive for 15 years. I'm getting up there. Not only that, one of the medicines that I was taking was called Truvada, which ended up having certain complications for long-term use, which is one of the reasons why I've changed from Reataz, Truvada, and Norbert to Biktarvy, because it's only one pill, and because the Truvada gives people, after long-term use, your liver and your basically your body develops that toxicity from that medicine. So it's something that is on my mind, and I want to make sure that I'm prepared for as I start getting, from middle age to, senior, and my 50s, my 60s, and my 70s. That being said, at that appointment, she kept giving me the runaround. I told her this. She's like, well, we can't do that. I said, well, I want to get tested for this just to make sure. She's like, well, unless you are showing signs of that, we can't test you. And I can understand that, but I've had other providers that never gave me that type of runaround. So she seems young. She seems like she's a brand new doctor. Maybe she's just going by the book. But, and I don't have to, now that I know her character and her just literally, after all of that, she just kept giving me the runaround and kind of playing just not devil's advocate, but just being very dismissive of my concerns and what I wanted to see. But she was doing all of that so that I didn't have to come back, that I would be displeased with my service and I would go somewhere else. Because people in the office or people around have been basically gossiping and rumors about me because they don't have nothing better to do. And so all of these rumors and lies about me, that I'm a criminal, that I'm, some type of freaking abuser, when I'm not at all. But, whatever. People are always going to hate on people that are trying to, do something with their life, that they have purpose, because they don't have it. They don't have purpose, they don't have direction, they don't have goals, they don't have anything. So, those people are just going to gossip about other ones and put, slander and gossip and defamation into other people's ears. And people are going to be taken by it. It's very hard, it's very far few in between that you'll find an individual that can establish an opinion about things, having heard, gossip and slander, and make their own opinion, regardless of what other people say. People are very easily influenced, especially by word of mouth gossip and whatnot. And people love to gossip. I mean, it's just so banal and trite and very low dimensional it irks me to gossip. I don't care about what that person did. It's not anyone's business. Who are you to create these narratives or to go out of your way to gossip about someone when you don't even know the true story? And they may have done those things that, like somebody stealing, doing kick door. You don't know why, if you're killing someone and blasting during a kick door, then that's wrong. But given the financial situation, there's a lot of people that have been oppressed by systemic, systems and oppression. I understand when people are, steal groceries. I understand when people have to do things that that sorry, that they don't, let me make this coffee, that they don't want to, I'm literally just fucking waking up, that, you know, they weren't afforded a high education. They were raised around an area or went to high school that doesn't have, you know, very high rates in education or awards or funding. So a lot of these things that they own, that they do and they know is because of the environment that we're in. A lot of, you know, some people, not a lot, but some people get desperate to pay their bills. So sometimes, or to put food on the table. I kid you not, there's gonna be people that are gonna start stealing groceries little by little. In fact, I saw a video in Los Angeles of they were putting meat. They put alarm tags on the meat so that they wouldn't steal it. Kid you not, and that's gonna start happening more and more and more. Especially because the pay rate and the income, the people's paycheck hasn't been raised. The minimum, what's it called? The minimum income, or what's the word called? You know, is like $7, $8, and it hasn't been raised nationally. But inflation and gas prices and food prices and energy prices are all going up, which really makes no sense. But, you know, these are systems created to, you know, benefit the elite and benefit rich people. You know, I'm not rich. I may have a little bit of privilege that my mother afforded, but we definitely work hard for our money. I'm not just handed anything. My mother has never just handed me anything that I want. I work hard for it. And when she has deals that need to get sold, or, you know, or she has a client that is looking for a certain lot or a certain type of house, fixer-upper or whatever, I go in the streets, I go look around, I drive around the city, I make calls, different abandoned houses, burnt houses, houses that are boarded up, you know, and I write letters and I say, hey, we're willing to buy your house. I represent a group of investors. You know, do you want to sell your house cash? We'll close quickly, blah, blah, blah. So we definitely help each other out in that aspect. And, you know, that being said, this doctor, I had this appointment, and she basically gave me the runaround on my health care. I don't want her to get in trouble. That's I don't care. You know, with that energy and that attitude, I don't want you as my medical provider. Especially because she was just giving me the fucking runaround and being like, no this, no that, no this. And I just looked at her and I said, honestly, like, you're insulting my intelligence. Like, I'm done. And she still kept going. And I said, no, seriously. You don't have to explain anything more. I'm done. And from the exam room all the way down the hall to exit the medical part and go into the lobby, the front end, she chased me. She literally chased me down the fucking hall. And she's like, well, but. And I'm like, dude, just stop. Just no. Like, you're a grown-ass woman. You're a doctor with an MBA, which is a master's in business administration. What kind of business professional chases their client down the hall trying to look, if you don't want to see me, just say that. You know what? My caseload is full. I feel like maybe there should be probably another provider that can communicate with you better. I mean, you could have said so many things that you could have said and gone about it differently. But she didn't. She literally chased me down the hall, trying to semi-harass me to get to the point of, what, that you don't want to see me? that you don't want me, that you don't want to be my medical provider, which really comes down, if you dig deep into the real reason, is because she was misinformed about who I am, my character, and what I'm about. I'm a very nice person. I'm a very caring person. I will literally drop everything I'm doing if I care about you and it really is important or it matters. I literally give you the shirt off my back. Or I will literally drop everything that I'm doing just to figure out how to help you. If I give you the shirt off my back, I sell real estate. I can be without a shirt, or I can be with shame for a while. I can be without a shirt, give you the shirt off my back so you have a shirt. Because eventually I know that I can broker a deal and find someone who's looking for a manufacturing building to make shirts or a retail space that sells shirts. Broker that deal, give you my commission, invest in your business, and then you give me a shirt every fucking day or every fucking week or every fucking month. So I'm gonna have a shirt regardless. It's no sweat off my back to go out of my way to help somebody out and give them the shirt off my back. But I have been afforded this privilege by my mother's hard work. You know? And that's just what bothered me, is that you're a whole fuck. Imagine if I chase my client. No, you gotta buy this house. No, you can't buy this house. No. Like, especially having a master's in business administration, there's an etiquette and decorum of how you go about doing your business and being a professional. Right? So I wouldn't want her as my fucking doctor anyways, just for that simple fact. Just for that simple fact. If I found out that it was done by somebody else, I would be kind of embarrassed and would say, you know what, maybe I don't need you as my doctor, because if you're chasing your own patients down the hall just to what? Prove the point of what? That you don't want them to be seen? Why? Because you were misinformed about that person's character? It seems kind of asinine and immature and very unprofessional. You're a whole fucking doctor with a master's in business administration, and you're treating your patient like that? That's embarrassing. As a business professional who has a real estate license in the two biggest states in the lower 48, that's really kind of embarrassing. You know, if my patient blah blah blah, okay, do what you do, whatever. We can reconvene. You can write me an email. I'll write you an email, but I'm not gonna get out of character just because I don't want to see you again. I'm gonna tell you that I have too many patients. Maybe you need to see a different doctor that you might be, a male doctor that you might be more comfortable with. I would suggest and make it alternative than to go and chase you down the fucking hall looking like a goddamn idiot. You're not gonna chase me down the hall looking like and make me try to make me like I'm the fucking problem, or that there's something wrong with me, when in actuality you were misinformed about my character. And then even then, if I'm angry at something or displeased with something, it's for a reason. It's like everyone says that I'm so rude and so this and that, but you don't know the things, the harassment, the mistreatment, the lies, the gossip, the slander, the defamation of character, literally just being bullied by grown-ass people for narratives and lies that I would never participate in. Look how I speak. People that speak like this do not participate in retarded criminal activities. I'm sorry, but they don't. Not only that, but I'm very well known and very established in the Jewish community and the Christian community, the Hispanic Christian community here in Houston. So these people have known me for years and years and years, and mega church pastors have known me since I was a little boy. So to go out of your way to create these narratives of me is really is a waste of time, and it's kind of just unnecessary and very, uh, at least for me, is very unfair and kind of hurtful, because I'm actually a very wise, very intelligent, very spiritual person that really doesn't care about real estate or money. I've told people this countless times. I don't care about those things. I don't care about status. I don't care about fame. I don't care about money. I don't care about clout. I don't care about position. I don't care about power. I just want to help. You know, if I'm going to continue in my real estate career, I want to help people to be able to create affordable housing, because it's going to get worse. You think things are going to get better? This is just the beginning. It's going to get worse. And the more that you spread savagery and hatred and harassment and all of these things into the world, the more that it's going to implode onto people that really don't deserve it. There is a lot of hardworking, God-fearing, beautiful people on this planet that just, for, you know, reasons unknown to me, have been systemically oppressed and cannot just one day to the next, well, I got a bag. You know, I see all these posts on the phone talking about, you know, this person invested $500 to flip an NFT and made $5,000. Not everybody has $500 to flip some fucking JPEG NFT. I don't know what the fuck kind. And then you don't even know if it's gonna sell. You don't know if it's gonna be, you know, a lucrative business. You know, it's very difficult to run your own business to begin with. You have to eat up a lot of overhead costs. So not everyone is willing to take those risks. So they're stuck in a system that basically uses them as slave labor. I mean, I'm not comparing it to the kids in Indonesia or other countries that are actually slave labor, but in a sense, it is kind of an oppressive type of employment that just uses them and spits them out. And then at the end of the day, their 401k or their stocks and options or whatnot are go down, and then they don't have anything to retire on. Sooner or later, Social Security is going to be a thing of the past. And these are all things that I've been trying to tell people and enlighten them on how to get out of that. You know, a lot of people think that I'm an asshole because I'm privileged or just because I'm a matter of fact. But if I handle you with kid gloves, you're never going to get out of that comfortable zone. You know, you have to start getting comfortable with the uncomfortable so that you can grow. Because otherwise, you're just going to be in this little bitty box and nothing's ever going to happen. And then when you're in your 60s and 70s and 80s, what are you going to rely on? Who are you going to rely on? So we have to come to this point of, at least for me, you know, I know spirituality. I've been studying Judaism and Kabbalah for 15 years, and I was raised in a Christian home with Christian mega pastors knowing me since I was a little bitty boy. So there's a strong influence of the Holy Spirit in my life. And so for what I know is for the liberation of the mind and for spiritual healing so that we can come to know the presence of God, or whatever you want to call it, Krishna, whatever you want to call it, source, and find that mental and emotional and spiritual equilibrium so that we can be able to grow and rise above our limitations so that we can develop the foresight and vision to accomplish the goals that we want. Abundance is always present, but when we're fixed to these narratives or these conditionings that society told us that we're supposed to be or that we should be, then we're trapped by a system that has literally been created to oppress you. If you look at the Council of Nicaea, that Bible, the Bible was created, some stuff was taken out, some things were changed for mind control. There's a religion of Jesus and the religion about Jesus. And most people study the religion about Jesus because you've been conditioned to believe these narratives so that you never find your true essence, your innate divinity, what Jesus was talking about. When you make the above like the below and blah blah blah. When Moses raised the serpent, why is Jesus compared to the serpent? And in the story about the Garden of Eden, the snake is talked about as a tree of knowledge, but it was demonized so that you're always fearing, this kind of punishment or this kind of retribution, and it's connected to the snake. When in all actuality, Eastern religions talk about the snake as a kundalini energy towards enlightenment, and that's why Jesus is compared to the serpent. Not only that, but if you also look in the Bible, the name Asherah is mentioned, but it doesn't allude to anything of why that name is there. But if you study the pre-Semitic Hebrew religion, there was a Hebrew pantheon, a group of gods, and Asherah was Adonai's wife. So Asherah is a god. Adonai had a wife, but not a lot of people know that. Why? Because you've been conditioned. Society, the world, people have been conditioned for hundreds of thousands of years to believe these systems in order for them to be able to manipulate you better. But anyhow, this lady was an idiot for having done that and chasing me down the hall. And really, that's what I wanted to get to. I don't care if she gets in trouble or not, but don't treat your patients like that. If you have an MBA and you're a professional, especially